N-E-R. To his right is Major Craig Rodriguez. He is our Bureau of Emergency and Special Operations Director, R-O-D-R-I-G-U-E-Z. To my left and to the left of District Attorney Marion O'Malley, we have Sergeant Jeremy Carroll, C-A-R-R-O-L-L. He is the station commander of Troop R Gibson, where we are currently, that covers Susquehanna County. And to his left is Captain Mike Walsh, W-A-L-S-H. He is our Troop R commander, which encompasses Lackawanna, Susquehanna, Wayne, and Pike counties. I apologize for the delay in us getting this press conference together. It's been a very tragic and harrowing day for the community here in Susquehanna County and the Pennsylvania State Police. We are still very much involved in an active and ongoing investigation. Our hope here tonight with this briefing is to give you a thumbnail sketch of some of the facts that we're prepared to discuss tonight. I will be speaking, District Attorney Marion O'Malley will be speaking, and then we will defer to the continued operational cycles in the near future to try and fully run down all of the aspects of this incident. So if I can begin by painting a picture for you, Gibson Barracks, where we are, Susquehanna County, was contacted this morning at 11:17 a.m. There was a report made by an individual that shots were fired in the vicinity of the numeric 20141, repeating 20141, State Route 171, Thompson Township, Susquehanna County. And to paint a picture, this is a two-lane State Route 171 in Thompson Township. It is very rural. That location is one that's of relevance for this incident, but there's also a neighboring property with the numeric of 20034, State Route 171, repeating 20034. And again, these are neighbors, not on the other side of a fence, but several hundred yards away on opposite sides of State Route 171. When the call was received here by Gibson Barracks, it was called in by the boyfriend and cohabitant of our first victim, which I'm going to discuss. Our first victim is Lori Wasco, W-A-S-K-O. Next of kin have been notified. She is deceased. She was 57 years of age. She was a resident of Thompson Township at that first numeric that I discussed, 20141. Her boyfriend and cohabitant called 911 for the reports to report shots fired in that vicinity. Miss Lori Wasco was shot and killed in front of that residence in the general vicinity of her vehicle. Some of these exact locations, I want to be sure that, given at this point in the investigation, we're still very much mapping the scene and trying to identify the exact sequence of events. But she had been shot. Two troopers were dispatched from PSP Gibson. The first trooper was Trooper Joseph Perechinsky, P-E-R-E-C-H-I-N-S-K-Y, repeating P-E-R-E-C-H-I-N-S-K-Y. He is a member of the Gibson Patrol Unit. His father, Joseph Sr., is the Chief of Police of Mayfield Borough in Lackawanna County. His brother is an officer with Archibald Police, also has a very strong law enforcement family. He has been a trooper for 6 years. He is single. The second trooper is Trooper William Jenkins, J-E-N-K-I-N-S, the third. He has been a trooper for 10 years. He is married, and he is a father of 4. I will tell you, both of our troopers currently are stable, and with the help of the continued prayers of the community and their will to continue on, they will be with us, and we are extremely, extremely grateful for that. But back to the timeline of events. At 11:17, when that call came in by Miss Wasco's boyfriend, those two troopers responded. They responded along State Route 191 to try and ascertain the location of that threat of shots fired. The troopers made it out of their vehicle, and they were ambushed from a very good distance away. I don't want to quantify that pending further investigation, but they were ambushed by several rounds of rifle fire from a position of tactical superiority. Trooper Parashinsky was shot twice in the chest/torso area. Trooper Jenkins was shot twice as well, once in each arm. Despite being very severely wounded, Trooper Parashinsky was able to tourniquet both arms of Trooper Jenkins with some further assistance, and their cars where they had arrived and gotten out of were also riddled with gunfire. So I'm not prepared today to speak about how many rounds were actually fired. I do feel confident in saying several dozen rounds were fired in the continuity and the entirety of this incident. So our 2 troopers have been shot. 2 additional troopers were able to come in and evacuate them. We have another victim as well. There was an EMT who was working for Barnes-Kasson Hospital driving a quick response vehicle, an SUV. He proceeded to respond very heroically to the call for shots fired. He was driving on State Route 171 when his vehicle was engaged with gunfire. He took evasive action and veered off the side of the roadway and crashed. He sustained some injury as a result of that crash. He is listed in stable condition as well. He was able to make it out of his vehicle, and he actually hid for fear that the actor would continue firing upon him. So that brings us to our actor, Carmine, C-A-R-M-I-N-E, Faino, F-A-I-N-O, repeating F-A-I-N-O, 61 years of age. Faino is the resident at 20034, so technically he would be a neighbor of Wasco and her live-in longtime boyfriend. However, their properties are separated by several hundred yards. He, we believe at this point, murdered Lori Wasco, and he was the shooter who shot both of our 2 troopers, as well as who shot at Carl Lawson. Again, Carl Lawson's injuries were a result of the car crash as a result of the evasive action he had to take while his vehicle was taking fire. So this is obviously a very critical incident. Radio traffic went out that shots had been fired, multiple troopers had been hit, and I would like to try and just at this point blanketly say thank you to law enforcement from Susquehanna, Lackawanna, Monroe, and Wyoming counties, all of which responded. At some point later, we will collate a list to specifically acknowledge all of those people who were able to respond. Our 2 troopers who were shot, who were evacuated from that immediate vicinity along State Route 171, were taken and staged at an area where they were life flighted. So Trooper Parashinsky was life flighted to Geisinger CMC, and Trooper Jenkins was life flighted to Geisinger, Wyoming Valley. They are there. I have been with both of them. They are in good spirits. We have talked to their families, and as I said, we're extremely lucky to have them still with us. They are an answer to a prayer, while we simultaneously mourn the loss of Miss Wasco and think of her boyfriend and cohabitant, as well as Mr. Lawson. So back to the timeline of this event. The troopers are now, along with local law enforcement from those counties, attempting to set up a hard perimeter around our actor, Faino. He was moving about. We attempted to use a drone, which he shot down actively with a firearm, and we were eventually able to get a secure perimeter around his location. Major Rodriguez's organizational segment, the Bureau of Emergency and Special Operations, encompasses PSP CERT, Special Emergency Response Team. So over a period of time, we were able to hand that secure perimeter, which was being staffed by state troopers and local law enforcement from those counties that I mentioned earlier, to a hard perimeter that CERT was able to take up and again begin their highly trained, high-risk warrant service or barricaded gunman protocols. We attempted at length to try and negotiate with Mr. Fano, our actor here. At one point, I will tell you, he was sitting on a propane tank, which caused further concern that he had attempted to turn that into an improvised explosive device, and we were concerned about other weapons, not only the weapon that he was using a semi-automatic long gun from which he fired several dozen rounds through this incident, but we were also concerned about other explosive devices that he may or may not have deployed at that location. After a period of attempting to negotiate with him, he continued to be a threat, and he was shot by members of the Special Emergency Response Team. He is deceased. So the perimeter still remains, and the processing by the Forensic Services Unit of the State Police is ongoing. We do currently have in place a Area 3 major case team from not only Troop R Dunmore, but also elements from Troop P Wilkes-Barre, Troop F Montoursville, and Troop N Hazleton to bring out the resources to bear to properly process and assess this entire scene. We are conducting a joint investigation with the Susquehanna County District Attorney's Office into the lethal force that was used to neutralize Mr. Fano. At this point, I would like to turn it over to District Attorney Marion O'Malley for a few comments, and then I will retake the podium to finish the briefing and open it up for a few brief questions. It needs not to be said, but I will say it. The Pennsylvania State Police relies on partnerships across the 67 counties of this Commonwealth every day to do the work that we have to do. The partnership that we enjoy here with District Attorney Marion O'Malley is second to none. We appreciate her being here. We appreciate the support that she has given our troopers who were injured, and we appreciate her support every day that she gives as we work for the victims, Ms. Wasco et al. Mentioned in this incident. So with that, I'll turn it over to District Attorney Marion O'Malley.
Good evening, everyone. As indicated, my name is Marion O'Malley. I am the Susquehanna County District Attorney. I want to begin by offering my sincere condolences, not only on my own behalf, but on behalf of every member of my office, to Ms. Wasco and her family. A truly tragic event. She was a member of our community. She was a worthwhile individual. She's someone who gave back to the community, and her loss will be felt by many people. As the Colonel indicated, my primary function here, given the fact that Mr. Fano is now deceased, will be to participate in the investigation and make the determination about the use of force in this case. That will require involvement by several of my county detectives in the investigation, and that will be done jointly with the Pennsylvania State Police. It will not be necessarily members from Gibson, but perhaps another barracks, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So, to ensure the objectivity of the investigation, as I know I can always rely on when dealing with the state police. So, as the information comes forward, you've heard from the Colonel, and it's absolutely true. This is a fluid situation. All the information has not been ascertained at this point, and it won't be until then that I can truly turn my hands to the report and take a look at what has happened and whether the use of force in this particular case was appropriate. That will take some time, but I know that I have the support of, obviously, the Pennsylvania State Police, as well as the members of my staff who will be working on it with us as well. We are very fortunate today in the sense that these two troopers are still with us. They are more commonly known to me as Bill and Joe. I have worked with both of them. It's a unique opportunity for a rural county district attorney to get to work with all of the law enforcement members of the community because of the number of cases and the fact that it's just not quite as big as our more metropolitan areas. So that's an advantage to me because I get to know who I'm working with and how they work, and they learn to deal with me and how I work. It is a true partnership. These two gentlemen, I will be waiting anxiously for them to return to work. And I hope they do not consider this as an opportunity to avoid court appearances in the near future. So with that having been said, I will turn the podium back over to Colonel.
Thank you, District Attorney O'Malley. A few more points. As per normal PSP protocol, the troopers involved have been placed on administrative duty, as we would in any other officer-involved shooting investigation. As the District Attorney alluded, the major case team has been brought in from an area outside of Gibson to ensure that we're doing a full, fair, and competent and thorough joint investigation. Some thank yous, again, I mentioned earlier at the top of the presentation, local law enforcement in Lackawanna, Susquehanna, Wyoming, and Monroe counties, all of whom answered the call for assistance. Several dozen officers and troopers were mustered to this ongoing situation, which was quite harrowing, as I said, for an extended period of time. To those counties and members of their EMS that helped us, as well as the flight crews that flew our troopers, really superb work. To the New York State Police, this organizational segment of Troop R, having been a troop commander up here, it is very frequent that we interact and receive support from our sisters and brothers to the north with the Stetson and the purple tie, and they were integral today after the fact in giving us a command post and some additional communication capabilities until we could get that set up. This was an extremely rural area, and we had some obstacles to overcome. So thank you to New York State Police Superintendent Stephen James. The New York State Police are always there for us, and I hope that they know that the inverse is true. So on behalf of Governor Shapiro, who flew in today to both Geisinger CMC and Geisinger Wyoming Valley, we received outreach from many local elected officials as well, expressing their well wishes. The governor and I were able to see both troopers and their families. Moving forward, there will be some additional procedures that both need to undergo. We're going to provide them the support that they need, both mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, through our Members Assistance Program and our chaplaincy program, to ensure that we give them not only the physical care that they need, but also the entire person. And I would say, on a personal note, I know both of the troopers personally. They represent the best of who and what the Pennsylvania State Police are. I spoke to one of the troopers who said as soon as they got out of the car, they had no idea where the rounds came from, and they were basically, under fire. Very, very unfortunately, I have stood at a podium to brief on incidents like this far too many times in my career. Since this administration came in January of 2023, this is our 5th and 6th trooper who have been shot in the line of duty over that 30-plus month period of time. One of those troopers was fatal, and I must say, from a very personal standpoint, despite the fact that we mourn the loss of Miss Wasco, and we hold up the victims also who were shot at, the EMT, Mr. Larson, as well as the victim's live-in boyfriend. I am very thankful tonight that we are not planning a double line of death funeral. So with that, we'd open up to a few brief questions. Sir.
Sir, earlier you said that there was a tactical superiority that Fano had over the two troopers. One, do you know if Fano had a military or police background? And two, do you believe that his ambush was premeditated to inflict damage upon the state troopers itself?
So I don't know about his prior history. That's one of the things that we're actually actively working up, his prior life and events leading up to today. When I say superiority, to set the scene, with a semi-automatic long gun, it is a tactical advantage when you have not only the element of surprise but also the element of distance. So you can see our two troopers that the basic information that they had was in this vicinity. Shots had been fired, possibly someone was hit. When you go out to an extremely rural area, you can get out and do a 360-degree scan in any direction, and the capabilities of a semi-automatic rifle from a position of tactical superiority, cover, or concealment really pose a chance for the actor, Fano in this case, to get the jump on our people, and for them to react the way that they did, for them to utilize the tourniquets on Trooper Jenkins. I spoke to both of his trauma surgeons. We were complimented as an agency. We carry on our belt per capita tactical tourniquets, and today I believe they not only made the difference for Trooper Jenkins, but again, we're very happy that they're both with us. I'll come back.
Were either of the two troopers wearing a vest when they were hit?
Both were wearing their ballistic vest, but the capabilities of the soft body armor against the long gun are severely depleted.
Do we know what type of round was used?
We will eventually have that, but we know, but I'm not prepared to release that yet. Sir, back to you.
Do you know? So just to clarify, was this a premeditated ambush? Do you believe?
I don't want to speak to his motive leading up to this. I would say you can draw certain conclusions from the standpoint that we believe Fano shot our victim prior to our arrival, and then from a position of tactical advantage, fired dozens and dozens of rounds at two responding state troopers in their state police vehicles, as well as an EMT. I would say it doesn't lend itself to a spur of the moment type decision, at least once he made the decision to open fire. Anyone else? Sir.
Yes.
Sure.
So we had crews all around Susquehanna County today, and one of them actually spoke to a man who says he called PSP yesterday talking about a man with a long gun walking down Route 171. And I was wondering, was that in fact the case? Was there a call yesterday?
At this point, I don't know, and I wouldn't be prepared to say if I did, given the stage where we are actively trying to run down everything that we need to know about Fano, not only for his actions today, but leading up to today. All right, we will release more information. Trooper Bob Urban, off to my left here, will push information out. We, again, our heart goes out to Wasco and her family. Mr. Lawson, who was shot at. Our heart and prayers go out to him, coming to answer the call for shots fired, not only for a member of the community today in Wasco, but also two Pennsylvania State Troopers. And I'll end where I began, where our thoughts and prayers go out to Troopers Parachinsky and Jenkins and their respective families. They represent, again, the best of who and what we are, and their spirits are high. They are thankful to be where they are today. And again, all of those people, we cannot say thank you enough. We're the beneficiaries rather, of extreme law enforcement partnerships all over this great Commonwealth. We seek to build those on a daily basis. We talk about building those relationships brick by brick, and they pay dividends on days like today. But as a former troop commander and area commander here in the Northeast, it is particularly so up here, and that paid dividends for everybody today. I will tell you again, after those troopers were immediately evac'd, after both had been shot by the two additional troopers that came to their aid, one of the two troopers, Trooper Parashinsky, was able to commandeer a tractor trailer that was driving by, and he ordered the driver of that tractor trailer to pull his semi-rig across the roadway so that more people would not drive down that roadway and potentially be subjected to the fire that the EMT and Mr. Larson was. Again, shot twice. You put a tourniquet on your fellow trooper on both arms and helped to do so. You triaged and got out of the area, still thinking at that point in time, after being shot twice in the chest, what can I do to secure this location? What can I do to make sure nobody else gets hurt? They're the real story here today. So I'm humbled and proud to serve as the commissioner, and I really appreciate all the thoughts in the community and the prayers. We appreciate it very much.
Commissioner, could I just say one thing?
Sure.
To thank the governor for coming up to say PSP strong. I'm glad the governor is backing you people the way he does, and thank you for your leadership. And if there's anything that needs to be done to raise money or something, if these troopers need any kind of help, you post it, and I have a site. We'll put it out there. Anything we can do to help the troopers or their families, we gladly will.
Thank you very much. And just a word about that, it need not be said publicly, but I will, to thank the governor for his continued support, not only for our troopers who've been shot, but also the municipal officers across the Commonwealth. He goes, he's physically present, and he cares about law enforcement and tries to give us the very best that he can, along with partners in the legislature in Harrisburg, to give us the tools, the training, and the personnel to meet our mission. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Has Fano been on your radar at all? in the
I
past?
wouldn't be prepared at this point to discuss that, but thank you.
There's one more.
Do you have one more? Sure.
By any chance, you said that Thana was at some kind of propane tank. Was there anything found to that propane tank?
In addition to processing the scene, we had our hazardous device and explosives section, HIDES, which also operates under Major Rodriguez's organizational segment of BISO, to clear that out and we're not in a process, or we're still in the process of fully clearing that area. Any evidence of relevance to today's incident, but also if he had any additional explosive devices. But that has not slowed us down, but has caused us to be very diligent in the way that we're processing the scene in the event that he had prepared an explosive device. Okay? Thanks.
Thank you.
That was the press conference by the Commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police and the District Attorney up here.